characters, welcome to Crank It Up. I'm Jim Price, and today I want to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. is a design paradox for me, one that captures a lot of how I feel about the Marvel expansion overall. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. But I'll start by jumping to the conclusion that I like S.H.I.E.L.D., and this is what a swarm faction is actually supposed to be like. S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't the problem, perhaps everyone else is. If you look at their characters, they seem bland. S.H.I.E.L.D. agent is Pinky. Agent Coulson is a localized Zapbot, and I prefer Zapbot immensely. A lot of players think of Titania when they think of Nick Fury, but he's actually a pestling with normal power. Maria Hill is the most interesting, a 4 you want to lead with and use repeatedly on a turn. But overall, the characters aren't anything special. So what about the actions? The actions make my head hurt even more. Mission Debriefing, a double feature, is Tech Center, but S.H.I.E.L.D. has less characters than robots, so the context is very different. Their other double feature is Proving Ground, which can play an extra character of power 3 or less each turn, and despite being weaker than comparable cards, this is a crucial double feature. Inexplicably, the single feature Troop Drop is objectively weaker than Mission Debriefing, which really grates my nerves, especially since it is subjectively weaker than Entry Point, which is an actionized Nick Fury. The actions aren't really off to a great start, but then you start to notice that they have some new tricks for Swarm. Reassignment gives them movement, much like Mythic Horses. Work Together gives them a nice power boost, much like Innsmouth. Superior Firepower gives them a threat of destruction, like Magical Girls. And they have a very powerful special in Rescue Mission that admittedly the faction puts too much stock in. During playtesting, a lot of players felt that S.H.I.E.L.D. had one crucial weakness: character starvation. And it makes sense that they would have this problem. They play a lot of extra characters. Their power boosts are nice, but not that significant. You really need to use Maria Hill well. S.H.I.E.L.D. has a nice downward chain. Maria Hill can be your character, Entry Point can be your action to play Fury, to play Coulson, to play S.H.I.E.L.D. agent for 18 power. That puts most bases within sniping if they have a little pressure. For a rich organization like S.H.I.E.L.D., they have very few bullets. As I said before, Rescue Mission carries too much weight, because it ties the much-needed recursion to a moment in time. If you don't have it, you're out of luck. Compare this with the Halflings, who have a similar chain playstyle, but put their recursion into Spoiled Brats, which can be played at any time. But general-purpose recursion would make them even stronger, and make Swarm on Swarm even scarier, so S.H.I.E.L.D. went with a different approach. Proving Grounds as a double feature is extremely important because it frees up the Coulson and S.H.I.E.L.D. agent to be set up in advance. This is a great example of a talent that could be used each turn, but should not be. Loading up too many characters is power creep, and being wasteful is the death of S.H.I.E.L.D. But it also does something critical. It frees up your action slot on the terminal turn. This means you can do the same 6 power chain for free on a future turn, but use your action play to play superior firepower to try to solo the base. Solo points allow you to be more efficient and settle for an easy second place in a recharge play. But I prefer instead to play Mission Debriefing here. Mission Debriefing gets stronger the more characters you have, but it's hard to play terminally while also adding enough characters to make it worthwhile. While pre-staging your character plays allows this to happen, allowing you to burst and recharge at the same time. This can help you draw into Rescue Mission, or draw through your deck faster for a natural reset. When played this way, S.H.I.E.L.D. is much more strategic and allows you to overcome many of the deficiencies of some of their cards to see that they are just a strong, well-rounded Swarm faction with a little bit of everything. As a Swarm faction, naturally all Swarm partners are going to be scary, and they aren't worth covering. The better question is, who is a different style of partner that can make use of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I often talk of power creep and avoiding it on bases, but there is another strategy that I call Come At Me, where you throw as much power as you can and invite someone to play for second base or risk a solo score. There are times I actually do this, but Maria Hill's temporary power really makes it hard for S.H.I.E.L.D. to be that play. But the dinosaurs are well positioned to make use of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s extra plays, particularly from 3 power or less. Armor Stego rarely carries its weight, but when played multiple at a time, it can set up this very approach. And it's great because they use many of your weaker cards. Troop Drop and Proving Grounds could easily be a War Raptor bait for 15 power, but they could also be Armor Stego bait for 15 power on a rival's turn. That plus 6 could be enough to simultaneously push the base to breaking while giving enough cushion to keep your lead. And in the Armor Stego case, no love is lost for each of those minions. War Raptors are great for Coulson because Coulson is essentially a freebie. While this combination can struggle with too many terminal actions, they can be ruthlessly efficient as well, with Nick Fury and King Rex into Rampage proving to be a real threat. Since Rescue Mission must shuffle all minions, a tactical strike to not overdilute your deck works wonders here. And Reinforcement is worded in a way that favors War Raptors, allowing them to spread out and converge to avoid power creep and achieve their full potential. Shield is also a great partner for Mad Scientists, who simultaneously bring the extra power needed to make them more efficient, while giving them extra plays that lead into their strategy. Mission Debriefing gives the Mad Scientist some much needed card draw, while Mad Scientist monster plays are global, which overcomes the Shield focus on local plays. German Engineering solves the permanent power problem that Maria Hill has. Jolt is another means to set up the Come At Me approach by offering second place, knowing that it comes as a huge opportunity cost for other players. Every power counter that this faction offers makes Shield ever so slightly more efficient, while really helping their minion starvation problems. Uber Serum on Maria Hill, because of her growth potential, can create a decent-sized body shot play in a relatively short amount of time. Because this faction puts so much emphasis on Maria Hill over Nick Fury, guaranteeing access to her is crucial. As a 4, this obviously means shapeshifters. Of course, you are taking two character-starved factions and putting them together, but the opportunities for efficiencies are enormous. Shield offers a lot of low-power extra plays, perfect for mimics. Doppelganger into Nick Fury can give a tremendous head start on the next base or set off a chain reaction. If you split your focus between Maria Hill and Doppelganger, Doppelganger can turn into Nick Fury to set off a chain on Maria Hill's base for a potential solo opportunity on someone else's turn. The potential of a card like Really on an indestructible minion can also be potent since you are rescuing characters from the discard. This pairing needs to make every minion count, but they have the tools to do so while setting up some very interesting plays. Shield tends to limit itself to units of power 3 or less, which the Grims can make great use of. Seeding a Grim minion for 2 power barely adds anything, but Coulson and the other Grim minions are an easy 9 power from your minion play. Proving Ground can also create the same effect as a talent. With Troop Drop, Frog Prince can become a character from your discard pile, because you lead with Frog Prince and turn him into something else. And Grim have great choices for this. Red Riding Hood is great for a localized swarm like Shield, while Big Bad Wolf could potentially set up a solo play given Shield's extra character plays. Rumpelstiltskin is also a great 3 to set up a downward spiral chain, getting a key piece of the puzzle, with the Grimm providing a bit of recursion themselves, as well as direct access to some very key minions and actions. The Grimm can help insulate Shield from bad draws, ensure they have key cards when they need them, and set up some dominating plays. Even the extra action play that Grimm provides can go a long way setting up card draw to sustain you for the long run. Shield may not be the flashiest Swarm faction, but they are a clean representation of what the mechanics should be and indicative of the problems with greater takes on Swarm. They have a little bit of everything, which lends itself to some obvious and not quite as obvious pairings. What do you think of Shield? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's shut it down.